This is the best of the week on Relevant Radio.
We'll go to Agnes now in New York. Good morning, Agnes.
I was a victim survivor of the abuse all through my teen years, and I believed his lies and all these things. But I wanted to address something that I don't usually hear. Okay. What helped me immensely was to go to the Eucharist. I didn't know too much about the love that God has for me. It was just something you go through as a survivor, as a victim. You feel a lot of shame and embarrassment, everything. It disrupts your relationships, especially when you're younger and everything. But I just wanted you to know that I needed a place to go, just get away from everything. And I had an encounter with Jesus in the Eucharist. It wasn't public or anything. It was a private visit, and it just turned me totally around. I just was very quiet about everything. But I was instrumental in opening by the grace of God, a perpetual adoration chapel because of what I went through.
So Jesus healed you in some way, some profound way, by your being in adoration. Is that right, Agnes? It was
yes.
Jesus in the Eucharist? Mm-hmm.
Yes. That was the
That's
place.
beautiful.
That was my refuge. My refuge was in front of the Eucharist. And he's the divine physician. When you hear of all these victims and family members, of course, suffered greatly after finding these things out. But it's really only through the Eucharist that you get a healing. Don't leave the church. Don't leave the Eucharist. And bring your sorrow and your pain to the cross. He went through the passion and everything, and it's a gift to realize without him, nothing can be accomplished without Jesus' help. I could say I could have been a drug addict, an alcoholic, all of these things, but it was the Eucharist that helped me immensely in this pain that you lived.
What you're saying is it tracks perfectly with what Jesus says in John 15. In verse 5, he says, I am the vine and you are the branches. The one who remains in me and I in him bears much fruit, because apart from me, you can accomplish nothing.
Nothing. Right.
But with Jesus, he can accomplish anything through you.
You don't hear it for people that are in suffering, in any pain. Don't give up. Stay with Jesus. Surrender yourself to him and ask him to take over everything. That's a big thing. To Jesus, I trust in you. But the Eucharist is the source and the summit, and it's not a thing. It's a person. It's Jesus Christ himself in the Eucharist. And we can fall, but you know that he helps. I can't live without him. So if there's any victims or survivors out there, know that it's through the Eucharist, and I believe you will find healing with that. Go into a church and just sit there. It doesn't have to be Mass right now. It doesn't have to be anything. Just trust that he's there in that tabernacle, waiting for you, and he's there with his arms outstretched, and he will guide you. He will love you. He will embrace you.
So true, Agnes, and beautiful and well spoken. I'm sorry that happened to you, truly, but I'm so happy that the Lord worked this beautiful healing in your soul through the Holy Eucharist. Thank you, Agnes. Like what you just heard? Share it with your family and friends. And thanks for listening.